Hello, I'm Nancy Smith Maddox on WYTV7 out of Charlotte, broadcasting on Shine Your Light Radio Ministry in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'm so excited. We have a returning guest today, only she's a lot more popular now than she was before. So I'm so excited to have her. Her name is Miss Carla Boyd. She is
Hey,
a juvenile counselor, as well as an Amazon best-selling published author. The name of her book is From the Heart of Mama Boyd, mother of All-American quarterback Taj Boyd. So we're going to have some fun today. Ms. Carla is going to share a lot of experiences with us on how she's made it and what she did and why she wrote the book. So I'm really excited about that. But before we get started, let me just say that WYTV7 is a nonprofit. Our mantra is, if we reach one, we've done our jobs. We help in the community. We do a huge community effort all throughout the year. We do a lot with literacy, and we do a lot of feeding the homeless. So I'm real excited about that. So as you watch this video today with Ms. Carla, be sure and remember that we are a nonprofit, and we would, any seed money that you'd like to plant into us would be used to really promote our broadcast. So without further ado, let's get started with this exciting and beautiful guest, Miss Carla. Miss Carla, you've been through an awful lot in the past year since you've published your book. I want to talk a lot about your book and what's happening with your experiences as you're sharing it with people, okay?
yes,
First of
ma'am.
all, you said that writing is therapy to you. I read that somewhere, and I feel like writing is therapy to everyone that does it. So tell me a little bit about how you use your writing as therapy.
Well, we all think a lot, and sometimes we overthink. And once I write it on paper, I release it out my mind right onto the paper. And I feel like when I go deep into thought about a lot of things, I write it down, and it releases it from me, and it feels so good.
That's absolutely right. It's really, really great therapy. Why did you write this book, Miss Carla?
I wrote the book. I felt like I can help other families of athletes. I felt like it was a tool that they can go look at, when they need time. There's times when families need strength, hope. And we've been through so many experiences that it can be a real big time tool, because sometimes parents don't know how to juggle being a mom of an athlete, jobs, stress. And I kind of like laid it out in the book that we put a lot of our social life and our time, me and Mr. Boyd, we put our time to the side, so we can focus on our kids and get them where they need to get to. And I feel like a lot of parents, if they did that more these days, you would find more successful kids.
Absolutely. I know when I interviewed you before last year, before the book came out, you were talking about how stressful it is to have a high-profile athlete in your family, and what happens and a lot of the things that go along with it. But it's not only I think a high-profile athlete makes it even more difficult to deal with the rest of your family and everyone, but an athlete in general that's going to college, and it's just hard to get your family through it and to keep everything up with everything that's going on. It is very stressful. But tell me, how long have you been working with kids? I know you're a juvenile counselor. How long have you been working with kids?
For like 20 plus years. I started out when I was 14 with the work permit in New Jersey, working at the recreation center, the Boys and Girls Club. And when I had the bout with cancer when I was 15, I took my hurt and went around the hospital while I was there for 11 days, and I nurtured the kids in the infant room. I walked around and talked to kids. And I just had a love for a lot of people and kids because of the hurt I've been through. And I feel like it's therapy. Every time I pour into other people and other kids, it releases all the hurt and pain I suffered in my younger years.
Wow. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey, Miss Carla. Your book is From the Heart of Mama Boyd, and you actually open up your heart and share what's happened through all of this stressful time that you've had. And also, you are an Amazon best-selling author now, so that's just fantastic. You're helping thousands of people, which I absolutely love. But tell us a little bit about your personal journey and how you got where you were. And we shared this one time before, but I really want the audience to hear this again. It's such a poignant story.
Well, I grew up in dysfunction. I grew up with with no stability, you know, foster care, teenage pregnancy, inappropriately touched at 9. And it was very hard, but I hung with a lot of my childhood friends, and I kind of like gravitated towards them because I wanted that feeling of love to have. And I would go seek it for my girlfriends. Like, they had moms that were stable and they had what I was looking for. So I spent a lot of time with my childhood friends, and we're still friends to this day. But it was very hard at times, you know, me wanting to be like other people, looking at those kids saying, I wish I was them. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I'm me because my experiences have been amazing. Although I've been through so much hurt and pain, I have been able to reach out and bless other people to give them that feeling that there is hope if you keep the faith. There's so much hope, and there's so much therapy out here now where you can make it. Back then, it wasn't a lot, but now there's so many people you can reach out to, so many support systems.
And, you know, people really need to hear that because, you know, you opened up your heart and your home to an entire football team for Clemson
Yes.
University when you were involved with that, and you're living in Clemson still, and you opened up your home to an entire football team. You will never really know everything that you did to keep those boys in line with the hope and the faith that you shared with them. Talk a little bit about your times when Taj was playing and how that went.
Okay. Well, it started when they was in Little League, when we used to carry people's kids all around town with ours, because it was parents that worked 2 and 3 jobs. We found a way to be able to work 2 jobs at times, take our kids and other kids, because some of those kids were so hungry for a family environment and a stable home. We provided that. And I loved picking up kids, and Tim would go out there and work out with other people's children, you know, because they wanted to be like Taj and TJ, very hard workers. Taj and TJ were very hard workers. When other kids would be playing the videos, they would be working out. They ran track, they played baseball, basketball, Pop Warner football, rec football. We kept them involved, but they had to get their grades first. So we instilled that in a lot of kids when they were young, and then it transformed to middle and high school, and we still, you know, poured love into other people's kids when their parents were not deep into the football and the sports and the athletics like we were. And then it poured into college. I just cooked. Some of them would be like, Mama Boyd, I ain't ate nothing. I ain't had no good food. So I used to just open up my home and tell them if they're hungry, text me. Or, you know, Taj would come home and bring about 5 or 6 of them, big old boys. And I would cook big pots of food and just open up my home. And then they would love to hear stories Mr. Boyd would give to them. So I just loved it. I loved being that mom away from home, that family atmosphere, that safe haven. You know, all boys want to eat some good food. They want to eat the, you know, dining hall food all the time. So I was the mom that cooked every day, and everybody will tell you that if you ever ask them. Miss Boyd always cooked because I had 3 big men to feed and a daughter. So I always cooked.
Well, my son went to college. I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, is where my career was, and my son went to college in Arkansas, in South Arkansas, and I always loved when he could, because he was in athletics. He was a golfer though, but I always loved it when someone took him, when some mother took him under her wing, and she would, feed them and all. And I mean, really, when you're away at college, and a lot of college students are away, they're away from their families, someone to step in and help them and love them and just advise them and feed them, it means everything to them. And you will have people that will call you Mama Boy for the rest of your life because of what you've done. And these young men are grown and successful now, and they'll always remember what you did for them, as I and my son remember the families that took him in and all. It's just really, really very important. It's what we're supposed to do. Really, we're giving them hope. And that's what WYTV7 is all about. We believe in sending hope to people around the world. We have several million viewers on WYTV7, and all of our broadcasters are talking constantly about sharing with the world, sharing hope and grace. And I can't think of a better person to do that with than you, Mama Boyd. You just are the epitome of what the world needs. And your book is just really an encouragement to everyone that reads it, because it's so down to earth and it's so real. It's just real talk. I love that. So do you have a dream job? What would your dream job be?
Oh, wow. My dream job, that book has really made me feel so good about myself, because people see the real me and they love me for who I am, being real with the book. And my dream job is to go mentor families and girls. I just love juvenile girls. Give me the hardcore ones, and I'll have them smiling by the end of the day, because I can relate to those kids. So I would love to go travel and mentor families of athletes and all girls. Give me the girls. And, they need the nurturing, the little queen bees, the little princesses. And some of them don't get that feeling, and they need it. And I don't want them to resort to the wrong thing. And social media can be dangerous. So I would love to go around this world and mentor young girls and families of athletes.
And, interviews like this, where it goes out into the world, into the world, not just the United States, and then talking about your book and talking about what you want to do, I firmly believe that what we speak about comes about. And if we keep saying it and affirm it enough, it will happen. And there's a very good possibility that that's exactly what will happen to you. I'm sure there's going to be thousands of people that would love for you to speak on just what you do, your life, your story, your book. And that's nothing more than mentoring to people. And in the world that we live in now, isn't that really needed? Even if you're in organized sports, it's still a lot of scary things that can happen to our kids that are in organized sports. It's all over the news every day. So that kind of a dream job just it really could become reality to you, and I pray that it does. So what do you hope to accomplish with your book, Miss Carla?
Sports Mom Talk Show.
What?
Sports Mom Talk Show.
Right, that's awesome. I love it.
I have put it in the atmosphere, and several people want me to come on their shows and do like a preliminary, and I will give you the update off the record. I am so excited because there's no other like that. I think, we need that empowerment zone. We need that encouraging zone for moms, because we're the rock of the families. We make sure the laundry's done. They eat, they graze, the fathers work, and we really the rocks that make sure everything goes exactly as it's supposed to. So we need that sports mom network where we can encourage, empower, and I really want to share some experiences, because I don't want a lot of parents to go through what we went through. There was, mistakes, and then there's people that's good for you, and then there's people not so good for you. So I want to create some awareness in that realm, and through a Sports Mom Talk, it's really needed. And there's no program out there like it. Like and with us, with the unusual ending, all the work our family has put in, to get our kids to be successful. We didn't live off, like, we didn't, have food stamps. The kids had to pay for their lunch. We worked our butts off. And I really feel like it's other parents out there and they don't know what to do. But that Sports Mom Talk has been, besides the juvenile counseling and mentoring, I think all that can tie into one big successful situation.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Sports Mom Talk.
I agree with you. I think it's really needed because every time an athlete signs with a college or signs with a professional team, they really don't know what's in store for them. They don't know. The parents are really, and I imagine this for myself, is that I would be so high on what happened with my child, I really wouldn't be paying close attention to the things that are so serious that need to be taken care of, and mainly just keeping them grounded and down to earth. I mean, you have to do that. But when you watch this now, I mean, and what comes to mind to me is Antonio Brown, has a whole lot of talent right now in the NFL. And, he left one football team and went to another one. He stayed there for 10 days, and now he's gone from there. But they just get so mixed up in so many things, they don't have anyone to mentor to them. Whereas if they can pick up the book or see you and take advice, even their parents can keep them grounded and keep some sense made into them. So I think that's a fantastic thing. So it's going to be called Mama's Sports Talk.
Sports Mom Talk. That's what I still got a Sports Mom Talk. I'm still working out some names, but it's definitely needed. You know how much stuff get thrown at athletes, females and males. It's a lot. They have a lot on their plate. I don't even know how Taj did all this. It was the grace of God. That's a lot of talking all day to people, injured, banged up, dragged around. I mean, talked up like a rag doll. Those guys are strong and they're entertainers, but they're men too. They get hurt and they have hurt feelings and hurt bodies. And we just need a little more awareness now with all the different injuries going on. And that was my concern. My son is healthy now. He's, in good shape, both of my boys. And I would take that over anything, any day, that they're healthy and strong.
Absolutely. But that's what your calling is, and that's what God wants you to do. And I think this book is really proving it to yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to be there to help people and to guide them, and especially their parents, because I still honestly believe that their parents can keep them grounded. And if you have that foundation and they're grounded, then they're going to be more successful than all of us would have even imagined. And but yeah, I love that. I think that's great. And then who is your biggest influencer in life, Miss Carla?
My biggest influencer is God. And one thing I wanted to say about Coach Swinney, Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach. I mean, when you talk to him, he'll make you feel like you can conquer the world when you leave his office. And that's one thing I wanted to share with the world. People trying to find a flaw. People interviewed me, and they're trying to find that flaw in him. We all got flaws, but I haven't seen any. He'll uplift you, inspire you, and make you feel like you can do all things. And it's in the Bible, because you can through Christ. But that's one inspiring man, I'm telling you. And he came from situations like, poverty, and he worked so hard and kept the Lord in it. But he's an inspiring coach. And it's not like it only happens one time. Every time I see him, It's so much love at that stadium. I go visit. I don't wear out my welcome just because I can, but it's so much love when I go over there, you know, to visit coaches. They be so shocked and happy and genuine, the staff, the players. Then I go to church with, you know, a few of them. And it's just an inspiring program, you know, and they're good influence. They're good influences on those athletes.
Absolutely. And, you know, and look at success his team
Yes.
and his university has experienced because of him. And I think he's such a humble man just by hearing you talk. He's humble. He's stayed humble. And look what God does. God just, we just serve an awesome God. That's all I got to say. And
Yes.
it's just fantastic. And, you know, God's making you pretty much a success too. God's allowing you to have a lot of success. I mean,
yes, I've been praying for doors to open, Miss Nancy and Miss Libby. I mean, this road that's why it's called a journey. This has been a journey. I've took some things that Taj has done at Clemson, and I got T-shirts made, and now some of my books and some of the T-shirts are in stores at Clemson.
Isn't that awesome? I saw that. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, why would I move anywhere else? They show so much love here, and it's genuine.
Yeah.
So just to, you know, be able to go in stores and people say, I see your books on shelves is amazing, and T-shirts with meaning on shelves. I'm like, wow, I never thought, you know, but Bridget Yelder always spoke a lot of life into me when we talked. And one thing she always said, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, and all is everything. And that stuck with me.
And so that is true.
I'm not scared. I'm bold. Faith is bold, courageous. I'm just stepping out and saying, God, guide me. And I'm just knocking doors down and breaking chains with one book with 50 plus pages. I'm hoping that the world will be inspired and I can one day have that Sports Mom Talk show, just like Oprah, Wendy Williams. I would love that.
And they will be inspired. Thousands have already purchased your book, and that's one thing I want to say too. We'll be sure and put on the advertising for this show, we'll be sure and put a picture of the book on there so people can go and to all of the book outlets and find your book, or they can go to the local bookstores there and find it. And really, that's what it's all about, as far as I'm concerned. Because I love people, and I love people that reach out to help people. And that's what WYTV7 is all about, too, is really just trying to help people around the world. And like I said, if we reach one, we've done our job. So I'm very excited for you. This is just, I love it when I'm associated, or I have any little thing to do with anyone that's as successful as you've been with your book. I'm just really excited. And I would like to throw a plug to Bridget Yelder. You mentioned her. She is my business partner. She has Divine Excellence Consulting, and we actually publish books. So, you know, if you ever need anything as you're watching this show and as you read Mama Boyd's book, then you can always, you know, she can get you in touch with us. But I'm just so excited for you. I'm happy for you, and I want all of your dreams to come true. You're really doing well, and you know, this goes through this kind of special way that you are, and your personality and how you're helping people. That filters through your children too, and your children will follow right along behind you as they become more and more successful. So I thank you so much for letting me do the interview. It's been a pleasure. And
thank you for interviewing me.
Huh?
I said, thank you guys. I have been spreading the word about what you guys do. Divine Excellence, a few authors have signed. I have referred.
Well, I thank you for that.
Lots of people to you guys.
I thank you so much for that. I know Ms. Yelder works so hard to do what she's doing. But
She's so inspirational.
Yes.
Very inspirational. You are too. You like the mom of us. Like you watching over us, making sure we do right.
Thank you so much. But I thank you for the interview, Miss Carla, and I wish nothing but best for you. I'm going to be praying for you that everything happens for the good for you, and you've done such a beautiful job. And I'd just like to say thank you again for the interview, and we'll be posting it up for you. Okay.
You're so welcome, and I appreciate this opportunity you guys gave me to come back on. And last Sunday, I got an award for Beauty Mark for Girls, Woman of Essence Award. I was like, just got tongue twisted. I had no idea I was going to get this award. I spoke at Beauty Mark for Girls and encouraged, girls that had incarcerated parents, and they presented me with a Woman of Essence Award, and I was like so thankful by God to be able to speak.
That's great. Oh, that's
to those girls.
Yeah.
Right up my alley.
It is. And more and more, God will open more and more doors for you because you do have a big heart and you are willing to help people. That's what it's all about. We're supposed to go out in the world and do that. So thank you so much, Miss Carla. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. All right, you guys be blessed. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right.